Hey everybody, this is Jose Blasco. We are about to start the session. This is a sound check. Please go ahead and confirm with a quick message on the chat box that you hear my voice. That would be appreciated. Thank you so much. Hey everybody. Very good. So it does look like everything is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maximize the introduction slide. That way we can have a proper launch of the session, and from there we go. How are you, Mark? Good to see you. Thui, how are you? Sound is good. Very good. Fantastic. Thank you for this confirmation. Okay, so let's begin the session and let's go for it. Okay, we have a full session in front of us and many things going on in the marketplace. Marianto, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome everybody to the session. Today is the last day of March 31st, 2020. My name is Jose Blasco. I will be your guide during the session. We are getting together to do some intraday trading. So today it's all about short-term opportunities, and that's why we're getting together. Disclaimer before we start, as always, I'm going to read it for you. So disclaimers, the following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradictive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive on using our products. And this basically is the introduction. The session is now official. We just started and it's time to begin looking for market opportunities and looking for trades. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into the radar screens here so we can have a proper view of the market. Paul, how are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you joining us today in the session, and everyone else. Ricky, how are you? Nice to see you as well. A pleasure. Very nice. Well, out of curiosity, while I begin the session, I'd love if you guys could write on the chat box where you're located in the world. It would be very nice for me to see the diversity in the group. It would be very, very cool. So go ahead and type where you live, if that's okay. Anyway, so as we begin the session, okay, as always, we are dealing with three workspaces: futures on the left, Forex majors in the middle, Forex minors on the right, okay? And basically, the futures opportunities, since we are dealing with centralized markets, we can be a bit more precise with timing. And we're going to start with climates of 15 minutes. Then we also look at 60 minutes and 4-hour time frames, okay? Where with the currencies, because it's a decentralized product, being precise is a bit more difficult given the different price points with different brokers for the same currencies. So we're going to start with 60 and also 240 and also daily for the majors, okay? And then for the minors, given the lesser liquidity, even though it's fine, we'll start with 4 hours, 240, and then we'll also look at the daily, okay? So this is what we have in front of us, and as we speak, we have a near sensible short opportunity flashing for us with crude oil. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and load crude oil. While I'm loading crude oil, for the ones of you that have been attending the sessions for a while, I'm sure you know what I'm doing on my other computer screen, isn't it? And I just want to bring it here to our computer screen as well. So I'm loading bar charts, okay? So I can go ahead and confirm the right symbol to trade crude oil, okay? So click on CL, you can see the letter K, okay, the letter K. So we're going to be looking at greatest volume and of interest is going to be this particular row, and this particular row does line up with a K. So yes, the K is confirmed. That's the one we want to use. So in my trade station, I'm using an old symbol here. I'm using the J, so I'm going to have to switch this to CLK20. Okay, so at CLK20, that's going to be the symbol for me to load. Okay, looking at the chat box while the chart is loading. So we have UK, Orlando, Florida, New Jersey, Lake County, California, Fort Lauderdale in Florida as well. Chris, a pleasure to see you here, my friend. Dubai for Chris. Hélène, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Nasser from Spain, from Almeria, if I'm reminding correctly, isn't it, Nasser? Garden Grove, California for Royce. And Bojan, how are you, Bojan, in San Diego, California? Very nice, everybody. So anyway, so our chart of crude oil is loading here. Thanks for sharing. Okay, this is a pleasure. Bill in California as well. everybody a little bit in a different place. Okay, I am in Singapore myself. Okay, so a little bit in the other side of the world. Anyway, so what do we have when looking at crude oil? Well, we have a thick red dot, which is indicative of a down climate. We got two candles into this climate, and that climate is supposed to be a 5 candle climate. Okay, so 2 out of 5, certainly we are on time to plan on shorting opportunities. Okay, now for us to take the trade, we would want crude oil to be trading around 2073, which is the average price of crude oil. You can see price came to the average and went down, came to the average. Oh, that drawing was terrible. Came to the average and went down. That's what I meant. Came to the average and went down. So we are looking for the same situation. Okay, direct forces joining indirect forces. And for that, we need around 74. We need to find red UFOs, okay, which right now here at 74, we don't on this particular time frame. Right here, we don't either. And right here, we also don't. Okay, we have 3 edge time frames, 377 ticks, 610 share bars, and 2-minute time frame charts. And in none of those, we have the red UFO that we are looking for. Actually, we are having a little bit of green show up, which may be indicative. We'll see that a bit later in the charts. But these green UFOs may be responsible for a change of climate. We'll see if that's the case or not. In any case, we don't have a setup that allows us to take the trade as of now, because even though we do have a proper climate and price is basically now trading at the average price, 74, 75, which is the average price, we don't have the red UFO at the current price, and therefore we cannot take the trade. Having said that, we just need to wait, because next thing you know, 30 seconds from now, we may have a red UFO show up here. And if that's the case, then we have a trade. Okay. So in order for me to anticipate a little bit what could be, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at where the target would be for crude oil. So later, if I have to rush into executing the trade, I'll be ready for it. Okay, so the target, if we were to take a trade on crude oil, the target would be 2033. Okay, so for crude oil, 2033, that would be the target. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm just gonna get rid of AutoUFOs, go back to my normal setup. Okay, and we'll be watching this. Okay, again, any moment a red UFO may show up, so we'll keep watching this for the next 8 minutes, because 8 minutes from now we're gonna have a new candle in the common time frame, and that may change the climate. And if that's the case, then the trade would be either validated or invalidated. At the moment, we don't have the UFO we're looking for. Okay, so nothing to be done here. We have an alert with gold. Okay, but if you look carefully, notice the gray box. Okay, right here. Remember, a gray box means a non-confirmed climate. Okay, so because the climate is not confirmed, well, it's not crazy to take the trade, but you have less odds, and therefore the rule, the very simple rule that we apply in the room is we pass. Okay, and that's it. Now, on the other hand, Nasdaq, okay, is giving us a golden alert. Okay, and the climate is blue, and as you can see, the climate is confirmed. Okay, 6 candles out of 7 on the way up. So I'm curious to see the chart and see what's going to happen. Okay, so quick look at crude oil and moving into Nasdaq right now. So nothing new when it comes to crude oil. Let's load the Nasdaq and Q. Okay, so the Nasdaq is going to be the M symbol. You know, with the equities, the currencies, and so on, it's quite simple. A bit of crackle in the sound. Is sound okay for everybody, guys? Oh, the mic is a little too loud. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna adjust this. Would that be better with the now with the sound volume, sound quality, etc.? Please give me a little confirmation on the chat box, please. It's better, very nice. Okay. Nice, wonderful. Thank you for that. Not sure what happened because normally I have it well set up, so maybe I touched something. Marianto, you're asking about the dots in the 15-minute chart. So this is very simple, okay? And it's just to make myself a bit more mechanical. So instead of having candles, which is fine to have candles here, okay? So if instead of dots you were to use candlesticks, okay, and you were to have something like that, it's absolutely fine. It's not a big deal, and really, what matters is the auto climate below, telling you about the climate, which in this case is an up climate for the Nasdaq. Okay, so no, not a problem with that. But at the same time, to make you more mechanical and not to get to see the candles going up and down around the average and get you in an emotional stage, okay, especially if you are new to trading. So one valid approach is to change. Let me double click on the candles precisely. Here we go. Is to change the style of your chart, okay? And instead of candlesticks, use dot on close, okay? And if you change it to dot on close, I make it blue, okay? So then you have those dots, and that, it's either you are above or you are below, and you don't get to see too much of what's going on around the average, and it removes the emotions, okay? So it's all about being mechanical, removing emotions. I mean, we talked about that intensively in many sessions, guys. Trading psychology, it's very important, and sometimes it's easy to fix. We just trick ourselves with colors and shapes and things like that, and it's really helpful. Of course, if you are very experienced, okay, certainly you will probably manage your emotions more efficiently as well, and therefore you may need less of those tricks. Is that making sense? But especially for the ones of you that are in learning stages, those little tricks are normally quite helpful. Okay, anyway, so what do we have with the Nasdaq? Okay, so with the Nasdaq, we have a thick blue dot, okay, number 6, okay, so we have been traveling in that direction for 6 candles. Statistics suggest that movement should continue for 7 candles, so 6 out of 7. We still have some minutes, to be precise, 3 minutes to take the trade with full size. After 3 minutes, we're going to have candle 7 out of 7. And then it'd be okay to take the trade, but then we normally recommend to go with half of the size. And if you're very conservative, just pass. Because, of course, you are now getting to closer to the point of where the climate may be exhausted and change. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind. So now, in any case, 79.28 is what we're looking for. And there is no green UFO at this price level. 28 is more or less here. No green UFO at this price level. 28 is around here, I would say, right? Yeah, 28. So let me see what's the top of this one. 27 is the top of that one. 27 is the top of that one. And you know what? That may be a valid entry. Because when the Nasdaq falls from 79.60, which is the current price, and falls down to 79.28, that 28 may be down to 27, 26, 20 something, which is going to be much lower. Okay, now, not too happy to see that we got a UFO which is like around, let's call it 20-point range. But let's face it, in some period of time when the markets are very quiet or very, let's call it normal, then 20 points would be seen as too much. But given the volatility available in the market nowadays, then I'm going to be okay with that. The only thing is that 20-point range UFOs imply, a larger account to be able to trade it, because even using this trade with a couple of contracts or one, it does carry a greater risk given the distance between the top part of the UFO and the bottom part of the UFO, which is where we will place the entry and the stop. Okay, so keep that in mind. So in other words, it does look like we may have an entry using that one. So I'm going to turn on AutoUFOs, looking for a red UFO above price. Okay, so if I zoom very much, we got nothing. Okay, so I just want to quickly move to the daily time frame, okay, to see how many days in time I need to go back to find price action. Okay, and probably I need to go back to March 6th or something like that. Okay, March 6th or something like that. So I'm just gonna go back to, this is the 15-minute time frame again. So I'm just gonna go back to, let's make it March 1st. Okay, so I'm gonna make it March 1st, 2020. Okay, beginning of the month. And as the pending data goes away, we should be able to scroll this down. And uncover red UFOs. Okay, so it's still calculating, so we'll just wait a little bit and we will get the, I should have actually, I could have helped my computer a little bit by turning on turning off auto climate. This would have been helpful. Okay, but anyway, I'm just gonna wait for the processing to be finished, and I'll be able to drag this down. Okay, so what do we have? Here we go. So here's where the target should be. Okay, and I'm gonna make a note. This is for the Nasdaq in case we were to go long. The target would be 82.3875. Okay, so 82.3875. That's for the Nasdaq, for our target in case we do find an entry to go long, which could be the case. Okay, which could be the case. I'm just gonna go back to reduce the use of my CPU. I'm just gonna go back to the normal amount of bars. As you can see, I'm using 500 here, so that's gonna alleviate a little bit processing power, and TradeStation will be a bit happier. So now we just had an update on the climate, so still confirm and blue. Okay, so now it's 7 out of 7. So this is the last candle. We still got 15 minutes for us to get filled. If we don't get filled in this candle, we're gonna have to reduce the size to half, because it would be now candle 8 out of 7. Okay, and remember, I'm taking 644, rounding it up. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Yes, and Rob, I'm reading your comment about what about micros. Absolutely. Okay, if you are utilizing an account which is less large, or you want to be more precise with the position size, you can certainly utilize macros. Okay, yeah. Very good, perfect. Okay, so let's plan an entry using the top part here. We said is 79.27. Okay, so because it's the Nasdaq and volatility is huge, I'm just going to use the trade bar, okay, to place the trade. By default, I always use 2 contracts just to make it simple in the coaching sessions. Of course, you need to calculate your size, okay? You need to calculate your size because this could be too big, too small, depending on your risk rules, okay? So we're going to go for it, okay? So 2 contracts, limit price is 79.27. Okay, the stop price, let me make this a little larger for you. Okay, stop price, it's gonna be 79.06.5. Okay, 79.06.5. Okay, and I'm getting those numbers from here. Okay, so you have 79.06.75. So I'm just going 1 tick below. Okay, which is 79.06.5 for both stops. Okay, the final target, okay, we said it before, is going to be 82.38.75. Okay, which is quite far, but given the volatility in the market in current times, we could certainly get there. And then the only thing for me left is to calculate my safety target, okay? And this could be done easily by just grabbing a calculator and calculate the difference between 79.27, which is the entry, and 79.06.5, which is the stop. Okay, I don't have my keyboard well set up, so that didn't do the math correctly. Minus 79.06.5. Now I got it. So it's 20.5 points. So if I add 20.5 points to 79.27, easy math, 79.47.5. That would be my safety target. Okay, so 79.47.5. That would be the safety target. Okay, so I'm just gonna zoom in so you can take a screenshot. Okay, and I'm just gonna place the trade. So 27 is the entry. 06.5 is the stop, 47.5 is safety target 1, and then the final target is 82.38.75, which is the red UFO on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and send the order. Okay, and well, I think we should be getting filled. Okay, price is right there. That's it. We just got filled. Okay, so we are in the trade. Okay, and now we need to see. The climate do its job, the unfilled orders do its job. We have a little bit of golden color show up at the beginning of the trade. That's a nice to have. But again, given the current market condition and the current levels of volatility, this is just a little tiny something. This is nothing at all. This is nothing impressive. Okay, even though we see some golden, which is always a nice thing to see, but really it doesn't mean much. Okay, now time stop applies. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and zoom in the 2-minute time from here. Okay, I want to zoom in a little more. Here we go. Okay, and so we entered in which candle was that? Was it this one or that one? Yeah. So yeah, since I'm using the at symbol, so it doesn't show my entry price, but it's okay. In any case, it seems that I am very close to reach my safety target. Okay. So again, I just need to wait. Let's see if we're gonna get there. 47.5. Okay, so we are just a few points away. And again, given the current level of volatility, we may get there in like no time. What could happen as well is that it starts moving in the opposite direction in no time too. That's what happens with volatility. That's when really managing emotions is very, very, very important. And some of you that may have less experience, this is a great moment for you to practice trading. Certainly, if you don't have a proven strategy or you've been in the market for very little, I would certainly recommend that you use small size or paper money, because this is a market scenario, a market environment that certainly challenges emotions. Okay, but at the same time, it's a unique opportunity. Okay, this happens let's call it every 10 years to have these levels of volatility. So you should be practicing the most you can to develop a very, very unique experience in this environment. So it seems that we're getting really close. That's it. We just got to safety target. Okay, so for whatever reason, my order is not triggering. I mean, it's a demo account, so not sure why it did not trigger. Okay. And of course, we can see price coming down. The red UFO is there doing this, and that's pretty logical. But if you had this trade with real capital instead of a simulated account, as I do, which probably again because of so many trades and so much volatility, the simulated account servers in TradeStation are a bit saturated. That's why my order didn't get filled, because price clearly surpassed the safety target. So if you are using real capital in this trade, I mean, you are out of risk as we speak. Okay, so. I'm just gonna wait, okay, and continue with this management of this trade. Okay, so we did reach the safety target. We can see it right there. Therefore, the time stop rule now does not apply any longer. So I'm just gonna zoom out on the Nasdaq chart. Okay, no need for time stop. And now, basically, we are utilizing the other techniques on how to trail stop, etc., etc. Okay, I should have half of the size, so instead of showing 160, it should show $80 of profit, because I should have taken already $200 over dollars of risk off of the table, and now I should be in a risk-free trade. Okay, and again, if you are in this trade, this should be your situation. Again, simulated servers do that at times. Okay, how is it going so far over there? Anyone with me in this trade? I'd love to know that. Okay, so interesting. I just heard an order fill message. So I believe that what may have happened is that the first time I only got filled on one contract, and now I may have got filled on the other contract. Yes. So the simulated account didn't fill me on both contracts. It only got me filled in one contract. That's why it was showing 410. Now it's 820. So now I am filled on the proper side, size, which it's, to be honest, quite weird. And I mean, it's not weird when you have high volatility situations, lots of trades coming in the market. It's quite common that demo accounts, the servers get saturated, and that's when you see weird things. So it's actually not weird to see weird things. Okay, and this explains to me now why earlier I could not see the blue dot, and now we do see it. Okay, so again, nothing to do in this trade really. In a normal case, I would be out of risk. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna leave it the way it is, so I can comment on the further trade management techniques that we will need to apply in this trade, if any. Remember, the trade management techniques that we are looking for is, number one, too far too fast. If price doubles, okay, if price doubles my safety target with no green UFO, then we're gonna move the stop to where safety target was. That's what we call too far, too fast trailing stop. And if new green UFOs show up, which at this moment in time, they haven't showed up yet, in any of the 3 time frames that we have in front of us, then I will move my stop from 7906.5 to below the new UFO that may form. Okay? But this hasn't happened yet. So at the moment, there's nothing to be done. So we just wait. Okay? We just wait. Yeah, so good question. Sandeep, you missed the entry, okay? Is it a possibility to re-enter? Well, the answer is no, okay? And the reason why the answer is no is because the UFO I got on the screen is gone, okay? It was powerful enough to bring me to safety target. So this trade technically is out of risk, okay? Even though it still shows P&L negative 820 if we get stopped out, okay? Technically, I mean, maybe I zoom in so you see it better, okay? So we did reach right there, okay, from the blue dot, okay? So we are out of risk, okay? And that UFO was powerful enough to do that, so thank you, UFO. But the problem is that right now, if you were to enter now, the UFO is gone. In other words, what the algo understands is that the unfilled orders that were available in the market are not available any longer. And since they are not available any longer, so then the trade is not valid, okay? Because you have the climate in your favor, you have the EMA in your favor, which may be the source of new unfilled orders to kick in, but you don't have the UFOs present in the market already. And that's, basically that's a major break of the rules that we have in our methodology. So that's why it's a clear no. We do not re-enter this trade unless a new UFO forms, and then we will reevaluate. But right now, we don't have any green UFO around 79.26, which is the EMA price. Okay, so no re-entering the trade, and we are letting the trade play out. The climate is still in our favor, the average too. So this could easily start moving higher, starts giving us green UFOs on the way up, and now we're gonna trail stop, and lock in more profits. Right now it's a break-even trade, and that's it. Okay. Now I had abandoned a little bit crude oil, so let me see what's going on with crude oil. Is crude oil still an opportunity there? No, not anymore. Okay, so I'm just gonna close it. Not sure if in the end crude oil gave an opportunity or not. Okay, because I was busy with the Nasdaq. I think it doesn't look like it. But anyway, so we'll see what's going to happen with the Nasdaq trade in a minute. Okay, so let me see. Question here from Ricky. Good morning, Jose. When you use the 2 contracts, one was to the safety target, correct? Yes. And I used 2. It doesn't need to be 2. Okay, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 8, it could be whatever. The rule is half of your size, whatever your size is, needs to be taken out at the safety target, because now you are now back to safety. So you cannot lose on this trade, which relaxes your emotions in a great manner. But most importantly, from a money point of view, now you have green light to go ahead and take other trades in parallel. Where if you haven't reached safety target and you take a second trade in parallel, now you are risking double, right? So, but if you reach already safety target, that trade cannot lose. So now this gives you green light to go and execute other trades. Okay. So again, nothing to be done here. A little bit of a fight. So we'll see what happens here with the Nasdaq. So going back to the climates to see what's available. So on the future side, nothing, because there is a possible trade here with the S&P, but that one is hopeful. Okay, so hopeful, we are not going to take that. And therefore we will now need to move into currencies. And the one that seems to be giving us an opportunity here is the Nasdaq on the 4-hour time frame. Not the Nasdaq, the New Zealand dollar. I'm not sure what I'm thinking about. Maybe it starts with N. I went for Nasdaq, no idea. The New Zealand dollar, the Kiwi, in the 4-hour time frame is in a down climate, which is sensible, 2 out of 5, and it's near the entry. So this certainly is a valid opportunity for us to explore. Anything new on the Nasdaq? No. Okay, so we just let the Nasdaq do its thing. We're gonna move now into the Kiwi. Okay, move into the Kiwi, and I'll keep monitoring the Nasdaq to see if anything needs to be done from a trade management point of view. Okay, cool, very good. Love it. So we have the Nasdaq, okay? And again, we have 6 charts here, but forget about the 6 charts. We are only looking at the ones in the middle because we said we are looking for a climate, which is a 4-hour climate. Here we go. You can see a thick red dot, 2 out of 8. So certainly a good time to catch a market to continue down for, based on statistics, maybe another 6 candles times 4 hours each. That's a nice trade. Okay, so we're gonna look into that. Okay, we just had an update on the climates. Okay, so I just want to take a look if anything is new on the Nasdaq trade, just in case some of you are in the trade. Yeah, nothing new. The climate is still blue. Now it's candle 8 out of 7. So now if we were to enter the trade now, we need to go with half of the size, but we are already in, so there is nothing to change. Paul, you're already on the short with the Kiwi from earlier. Nice one. Let's take a look at the Kiwi, okay? Let's go back to the Kiwi. So what do we have? With the Kiwi, we just said we have a proper climate to take the trade. We look at the EMA value, okay? The black color is the EMA, it's not the current price. Current price is above on gray color. So we are looking for UFOs around 59.79, okay? 59.79. So if I turn on AutoUFO, okay, the problem is that with the 21-minute time frame, the next UFO I got is located at 60.20. With 60.20, maybe around here. In other words, that UFO is not enveloping the EMA located at 79. Okay, we don't have that confluence. Okay, so when that happens, it's either you give up on the trade, and it's okay because there are more trades to be taken, or you open the door for range time frames and you take a look at the 21 range time frame. And the 21 range time frame may give us an opportunity to take a trade. Okay, so we have a UFO here at 59 to 61. That unfortunately it's below the EMA. Do we have anything above? Okay, so let's see. So we have another UFO at 76.79. Okay, and then the next one is 84 to 87. Okay, and unfortunately, current price. Yeah. So as the Kiwi goes back up, okay, and reaches the EMA will bend a little bit. So that 79 is going to be maybe 80 something. I'm not sure it's going to be 84, but it looks like it's going to be 80 something. Okay. So I think that probably the best way to do it would be around 80. Okay. Just to place an alert for ourselves. Okay. Here we go, create alert, crossing that value, 1, 2, 3, create. Okay, so now I have this dotted line there, which is an alert, and if the Kiwi crosses that line, okay, then I'll come back and reevaluate the trade because right now I don't know. Okay, so sorry for that. We want candles. Here we go. So back to the equity market. So the Nasdaq. It's having a tough time to go up. To be honest, this is not that surprising because we are getting to the end of the life of the climate, isn't it? So 8 of 7, actually, we have surpassed it, okay? Again, this trade is risk-free at this moment in time, so we stick with it because there are times, okay, and those are actually fantastic times, okay, where the climate really surpasses what statistics suggest, okay? And this is when now you have these type of movements, okay? And those trades are really fantastic. Remember, we have a target located at 8238.75. So let the market do its thing. Okay, let the market do its thing, knowing especially that in this trade we are out of risk, so we have nothing to lose. Let the market do its thing. Okay, we want to be disciplined at all times, even though it's certainly uncomfortable, especially at a time where the markets are so volatile. To see the P&L went up to 400 over positive, then went down 400 over negative, and again right now I'm still with a 2 contract position. It should be 1, so this should be half. Okay, and keep it cool. It doesn't matter. The market is doing its thing. Let the market do its thing because we are also doing our thing, which is to follow our rules. Okay. Okay. So what else do we have? So we saw the Kiwi. Also, it seems that the Australian dollar is also giving us an opportunity, a similar opportunity with the 4-hour time frames. Okay. So it'd be worth it to take a look at the Aussie. Okay. And also careful with correlations because if you, let's say you are short the Kiwi and you want to take an additional trade with the Aussie dollar, So basically what you're doing is that you are
Order
duplicating your
filled.
raise, okay? It seems, I would say probably we have hit the stop in the Nasdaq trade because I heard a message. Let me take a look. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this trade ended up as break even since we entered, went to safety target, and then we got stopped out. So potentially we have a change of climate. Okay. So I'm just gonna close this window now. And what may happen 10 minutes from now, okay, what may happen 10 minutes from now is that we have a change of climate here on the Nasdaq, which is currently blue. It may look red, and we may have an opportunity to now go ahead and plan on the opposite trade as long as all the rules are met. Okay, so really we have a carefree state of mind. Okay, we just follow the rules and that's it. So back to the Aussie. Okay, so back to the Aussie. What do we have? 61.34. It's the EMA, and on the 21-minute time frame, we have 49, which is much higher than that. Okay, so that will not be a valid entry. And therefore, an option would be to look at the 41 range time frame. Okay, so I'm loading the 41 range time frame to see if that one does provide me with what I need. And it does, but I'm going to discard it. And here's why. Because my entry would be 35, which is impeccably correlating with the EMA. So in that sense, you would say, Jose, you have the perfect entry. Okay, yes. But if I'm not mistaken, if I remember well, all those UFOs are very close to each other. So my stop would need to be above 49. But if I place my stop above 49, what's the issue? Well, coming back to the 21-minute time frame, and I did remember well, that UFO was beginning at 49. So in other words, and those two are very close to each other, isn't it? So my stop would need to be all the way at 62.13. So basically, out of a 4-hour time frame, I'm taking a trade with a massive distance between entry and stop. And this is just given where the piles of unfilled orders are in the market for the Aussie dollar, which in this case, unfortunately, there are too many piles of orders too close to each other, and therefore this is creating a situation which is not convenient for traders. Okay, so we're gonna pass on the Aussie trade and we'll keep looking at more trades. In the meantime, alerts with crude oil, near sensible, crude oil to the short side. So let's reopen the crude oil workspace and let's see if we have an opportunity to plan a trade with crude oil this time. Here we go. Oh, look, I didn't save. So CLK20, I should have saved that, isn't it? Okay, so what do we have? 2062, that's the average. That is coinciding with this UFO, yes. 60 is the ending part, so 60 is surpassed up to 64, and the bottom part of this one is what? That cannot be. I just moved that by mistake. That was like that. Okay, so that was 60. Correct. So that's fine. Okay. So yeah. So we have an entry, guys. Okay. So the entry is going to be here at 2050. 2050 is going to be the entry. Okay. And the value for the stop needs to go above 64, which is going to be 65. Okay. So, and by the way, I'm just moving all the drawings here with the way I've been clicking on the screen. So anyway, so 50 is the entry. We're gonna, and remember earlier, I have a note here from before. The target below is 2033. 2033. So wait a minute. Let me do some math. Yeah, it's fine. So we're gonna have 50 to 65. Okay. So that's gonna put my safety target at 40, at 35. It's not a very good trade. Not a very good trade. So look, let's do this. I'm going to take this trade for demonstration purposes, but I would not recommend you to take it, okay? Unless you want to take it a little bit deeper into the zone, okay? So let's do that. Here we got 52. Here we got 53. So I'm just going to go for 53. We're going to enter a little deeper into the zone. So 53 to 65. Okay, stop is going to be 65. So safety target is going to be 41, and then the final target is going to be 33. Okay, even like that, as you can see, it's just a little over 1-to-1. It's not an amazing trade at all. Okay, but again, for practice purposes, it's certainly fine. And if you were to if you were to utilize this trade with real capital, it is fine too. If not, I will not take it, even though I'm sure that if you keep digging and you keep using a little bit of patience, okay, you will find better trades than that, okay? In my case, I am limited, not with the patience, but I am limited with the amount of time we spend together in the room, which, the session will be over in 20 minutes and, I may not have time to take another trade with the futures markets. So I would like to use this one at least for demonstration purposes so you know how to do it yourself, okay? But again, as you can see, this B letter, which is a buy order, is where my safety target would be at 41. My final target is 33. So basically, the moment I'm out of risk, I'm just going to make, just a few ticks, which is not super amazing, okay? So that's what they said, that, if you keep digging, you'll find better trades, okay? But we have the order in, and we will execute it anyway, as I said, for practice purposes and since the trade is valid. So with futures, hopeful, and hopeful. So those one we would pass. So the only trade valid as of now is crude oil. And therefore, I want to take another look at the currency markets and see what we have available. Here we have a trade with the
filled.
Okay, it seems we got filled on the crude oil. So let me take a look at crude oil. Yes, we just got filled on the crude oil. So we are now short on the crude oil trade. Okay, short on the crude oil trade. Not a good news that the red UFO here disappeared. We still have the UFO on the left. That's a better news. Okay, so now we got the climate and the EMA doing its job. So hopefully they will bring price down towards the safety target. Okay. In the meantime, a time stop rule applies. So I'm just gonna zoom in. Okay, and this is the candle where we enter the trade. If we don't get to safety target in 3 candles, then I would close this trade manually. Okay, so let's see what's gonna happen. Can see a little bit of golden color at the beginning. That's nice to see, but it doesn't mean anything, especially unless we get to see red UFOs that begin forming on the reactive timeframes and certainly on the above timeframes too. Okay, so we are just waiting for the climate and the market to do its thing. Okay, so back to the red screen. So in the red screen, we have the Swiss franc, I was going to say, but that one is not valid any longer. It was a non-confirmed climate. We have the Aussie dollar also giving us an indication here with the 60-minute time frame setup. Okay, so 60-minute time frame setup. So we're gonna go ahead, and now instead of looking at the middle chart, okay, we're gonna now look at the chart on the left, which is where we have the 60 minutes below and the 8-minute above. Okay, so what do we have? Well, unfortunately, we have a little bit of a contradiction here with the market data I got on TradingView and TradeStation. Okay, and when in doubt, get out. So I'm not gonna take this trade. The dot is thin, telling me that the climate is not confirmed, even though TradeStation, okay, TradeStation here on the red screen, it is giving me a full blue color for climate. So TradeStation data, okay, and this is what happens with non-centralized markets. Okay, TradeStation data suggests that it's okay, but TradingView data suggests it's not. And since I was going to plan the trade out of TradingView, so I'm gonna have to restrain myself from taking this trade and look at other opportunities. Okay, so what else do we have? Based on daily time frames, we got near sensible, but they are not confirmed. Near sensible and not confirmed. But then the US dollar, Swiss franc, and the yen are near sensible and they are confirmed. So we're gonna be looking at the Swiss and the yen, okay, using a daily time frame combine. Let me turn off AutoUFOs there. Now we're gonna be working on the right side. So daily time frame combined with the 55-minute time frame. Okay, this is what we're gonna do, looking for a trade with those currencies. Okay, quick look at crude oil if you're in this trade with me, because again, time rule apply. And if I zoom in deeply into where we're at, so we entered on that candle. This was the second candle. So the current candle is the third candle. This candle will end trading at let me do this correctly, 12:16. So 2 minutes from now. Okay. So if 2 minutes from now we haven't got to the safety target, okay, probably our interpretation is going to be definitely that probably something's wrong. The climate, the EMA, and the UFOs should be pushing price down, and after 3 candles is not happening, and that may mean something is wrong. The climate may be about to change, and then we're gonna get a full loss. So if that's the case, we're just gonna cancel the trade, get out. Ideally, we may see a little bit of golden, and we may be able to get out for a little bit of profit. At the moment, it is not looking like that. Okay. So we'll see what's possible. But again, we are looking at the clock very closely. We got now less than 1 minute to close the trade. 50 seconds is the amount of time that we have before we close this trade. Okay, so this is a time stop rule. Okay, and we are waiting for it. And also, as you can see, the app is telling us that all the unfilled orders got filled. The red UFOs are gone in the 3 edge time frames, and there is nothing red on the reactive time frames either. So really, it is definitely looking like it's going to be a good idea to get out in 1 minute time. Okay, which is going to be when we have a new candle forming here on the 2 minute time frame. Okay, so we are just waiting for this. Just waiting for this to happen. 5 seconds from now. Oops, sorry for that. 5 seconds from now. So I got my mouse ready for the close. Here we go. Close. Okay.
Order filled.
That's it. So I'm out. Okay. I'm out. Basically 1 tick above my entry price. Okay. So mitigating the problem here. This is certainly job well done in the sense that, hey, you enter the trade because you have a reason to do so, but the reason is not proving itself. So now you find yourself hoping something's going to happen in your favor, and that's going to trigger emotions and all sorts of things. And certainly probability is not in your favor, given the fact that UFOs are gone. So what do? Time stop, get out, end of the story, and then go for a new trade. Okay. Talking about new trades, I think we had some alerts. So let's go take a look. I'm going to close this one here. So we have an alert with the Nasdaq, but unfortunately the climate is not confirmed. So yeah. So and then the Euro Futures, it's hopeful, so we're going to leave that one alone. So let's continue. Okay, we were going to plan trades with the Swiss and the yen using the daily time frame. So we will continue that. Yes, Ricky, this is a time rule. Okay, and very quick for you guys to know, because of course some of you, there's always X amount of you joining the sessions that have been with us for not too long, where some of you are joining us and you are veterans, right, of our community. But I want to make you aware all that there is a sharpening playlist in our YouTube channel. So if you click view the full playlist, okay, you're gonna see a collection of videos, okay, and you can see the subjects, okay. So guys, there is a review of the flowchart. And there is also another session that we call reviewing, that basically reviews the whole process on how we trade, including the trade management. And those videos will explain to you the time stop and things like that. Okay, so go take a look, Ricky. And then if you have questions, keep in mind the date, April 14 is going to be a Sunday. We're going to do a sharpening session live. And you guys, after you do your practice and your diligent homework, you can certainly join me and come up with as many questions as you want, and I'll be delighted to work with you on giving you answers and clarifying. Okay, but don't miss those videos because a lot of the answers are there too, so you don't have to wait. Okay, cool. Okay, so what do we have? 96.47. Yeah, well, that's current price. Okay, so we need a UFO at current price, but we don't have it. So what if instead of 55 minutes, what if I was to use the 55 range? Okay, if I use the 55 range, what happens? Do we have a red UFO at current price? Let's see. So it's loading, and we don't. It's much higher, all the way at 65. Okay, all the way at 65. So no trade with the US dollar Swiss franc, but we're going to check the yen, because the US dollar yen using daily and 55 was also a possibility. Yes, you're correct, Ricky. Okay, and by the way, all of you should also be aware of trade with UFO / get together. Okay, get dash together, where you have the calendar of sessions. Okay, and that way you can get organized. Okay, and also when you click on those sessions, okay, You see here it says, click on the upper link to add to your own personal calendar, right? So when you click, okay, so you have a link there. If you click on this link, then you can add this to your Google Calendar, your, Apple Calendar, your Outlook, so you can add to any of the calendars so you don't miss the sessions, okay? Little tips, I'm diverting a little bit from the trading, but hopefully this is useful to you guys. So what else do we have? The yen. So when looking at the yen, we have a climate, which is confirmed, okay? 3 out of 5, okay? So we may still have like a couple of days of this currency keep going down, and we may have an overextension, so that would be even better. And the EMA here is looking to be located at 108.71. So 108.71, I do have a little bit of a problem here because 108.71 is falling right there, right? And if price goes up, so the EMA is gonna bend a little bit, and then it's not gonna be 71, it's gonna be more than 71, probably somewhere in between, and therefore the EMA is gonna be between UFOs instead of being enveloped by the UFOs, and therefore the setup will not be valid. So again, I'm gonna take a look at the, not this one. I'm gonna take a look at the 55 range time frame to see if we have what we need. Yeah, but those UFOs start at 87, where the EMA is 72. So again, we don't have the situation, we don't have the setup we're looking for, where the indirect force known as EMA is enveloped by the direct force known as on-field orders. We don't have that. Therefore, no trade for us on these markets, okay? So let me see what else we have. We have 9 minutes to go, and I would be really keen on putting together at least another trade for you guys. So let's see if we can do that. Paul, I would say I have taken a look at the videos again, but I'm still having trouble with too far, too fast trailing. If you have time, could you go over once more time, please? Thanks. Yes, absolutely, Paul. But let's do that on April 14, if that's okay, because again, today is a trading day. And if I convert today into a lecture day, then we are not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, Paul? But I get you. That one is probably the most abstract type of trailing stop. And at the same time, probably is the one I've done the worst job explaining it. So certainly, if you are with us on the 14th and you ask me for it, I will give you a full explanation about it. And if you are going to miss the session because, let's say, that day is not available for you, it's okay. Send me an email, please, as a reminder, and I will cover it like you are in the session, and then you can watch the recording and you get your answer properly put for you. Okay? Cool. Okay, so what else do we have? So we are done with the majors. Okay, so we're going to look at the minors now. We have a near sensible right here, but it's not confirmed. We have another near sensible here, and that would be the Euro Swiss franc. So let's take a look at the Euro Swiss franc on the 4-hour time frame. Euro Swiss franc on the 4-hour time frame. So we are looking now at the chart in the middle. Okay, we do have a climate starting in that direction. 2 candles out of what should be 5. Okay, so it's certainly a good time for us to enter. And the EMA value, which is our reference, is 0588. Okay, so 0588 is around here. And unfortunately, we have no UFO at this price. The UFO is way below. Okay, so we may have a solution switching to the 21 range time frame. Let's take a look. So we have 06. This is above 06, so I need to find something lower. We do have a solution, my friends. We do have a solution with this UFO being located at 87. This is 89. Certainly, when this goes down, this is gonna go down by a little bit, and I would be pretty positive that it's gonna be lining up with that 87 or below, and we have UFOs below that. Okay, because then you got 84, you got 83. So basically, you got 7 pips of UFO there from 87 all the way to 80. Okay, so let's put the trade in place. So first, now that I know my climate and everything else, I'm gonna check my target on the 4-hour time frame. So target, where should you be? Okay, and it seems that there is a lot of room from '05 all the way to '08 on the 240-minute time frame, and this is one of those cases where I tell you, too good to be true, isn't it? And again, we're just gonna follow what the chart says, okay? Because that's our job. Our job is not to be opinionated. The market knows better than us, so we're just gonna follow what the chart says and set the profit to be at 108.796, okay? And of course, we adjust down to the 4 decimal place because it's a sell order, so it will be 108.79. Again, this is very far away. This is almost 300 pips away, and probably it's not going to go there in one shot. So probably while we are managing the trade management, somewhere in the middle we'll exit, okay? Unless we have an incredible move and it goes there, and then it's going to be the trade of the year, okay? Probably not, but it's still a good thing that there is no UFO in between, meaning that at least as of now, there is nothing to stop price from keep going higher. And that's a good way to begin a trade, okay? Even though, as I said, it's a bit maybe a bit too optimistic if you were expecting that's going to be, okay? Near sensitive. What did I say? What did I say? I said near sensible, right? Near sensible. It's a sensible trade and is near to entry. Okay, I get your point now. Yeah, that's funny. So anyway, so 87 will be the entry, okay, and stop would go below 80. Okay, so therefore, let's put the plan on the screen. Just write it down. Okay, so the final target for this trade, okay, is gonna be, you know what? I'm just gonna type it here, okay, and then I'll make it larger font. So 108.79. That's the final target. Okay. The entry price is going to be 105.87. Okay, it's 87.0. So when I adjust it to the 4 decimal place, of course, I remove the 0, it's 87. And then because it's a buy order, I always add 2 pips, as you know from the rules, isn't it? So that's going to be 89. Okay, the stop will be located at 0.585. Right? And therefore, again, we need to adjust to the 4 decimal place. That's going to be a sell stop. So because it's a sell order, we adjust down, so it becomes 80. And then because it's a stop, we add 5 additional pips of breathing room, so we'll make it 75. So in other words, okay, this is why I said this trade is the trade of the year. So you're risking 14 pips to make 290. That's on paper a 20 to 1. I would just go ahead and say it's no way that's going to happen. And if it was to happen, again, it's the trade of the year. Very likely what's going to happen is that somewhere in between you will exit the trade using the trade management rules. And that's good enough. That's very good, actually. Okay, so way to go. And that's what we're going to do. Just in case, we'll have the final target set up where the chart says, instead of making up a target ourselves, we're just going to be disciplined. So 108.79. We will have a safety target located at the same distance from the entry, which is 1.0589. But then we need to add 14 pips, okay? So 14 pips, that means that's going to be 106.03, right? Did I do the math correctly? Yes, I did. Did I? No, I didn't. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong place. Sorry for that. Yes, I did. I did do the math correctly. So the long entry is 1.0589. And then the stop loss is 1.0575. Okay. So again, risking 14 pips from entry to stop, removing the risk by having the currency move by 14 pips. From there, above 0.603, you are free of risk, and then let's see how far it goes. Ideally, it would reach 108.79. Probably you will end up somewhere in between, experimenting some UFOs, and then you would take your stop and trail it below those UFOs, okay? And at some point, the climate may change, may stop you out, and then you exit it at this price level, and that would be probably the final outcome of the trade, which is certainly a proper outcome, okay? So this is the trade, my friends. This is the trade, and I'm going to take a last look at the radar screen. Nothing on the futures markets, and basically it's time to conclude the session now. So as the climates updates, nothing is showing up. Nothing is showing up. The Nasdaq is now a confirmed climate, okay, but it's far away, so it's been falling. So we are not near. Therefore, we don't have the golden alert. So nothing to be done as of now. So I guess that time to conclude the session then. We've been looking at multiple trades, okay? The ones that we executed were with the crude oil, which ended up break even after